Just wanted to make a short video of my SP808. I've had this since 1999, so quite a long time now. Yeah, I used it for about 5 years and then stopped using it just because I stopped sort of playing around with music, and just picked it up again a couple of months ago. So I've had a break of about 10 or 12 years. Yeah, it's a good machine. It's probably a bit dated these days, but you've got several different sections on here. You've got the mixer section, which is, you've got the faders for the 4-track sequencer. You've got the editing area, the play controls, the sample palette. So you've got 64 banks of potentially 16 samples in each. You've got the effects rack in here. So yeah, all the sounds on the 808 come from audio that you record in. You can't, for instance, import WAV files or anything. Although it does have an onboard synth that you can play around with, adjust the presets and so forth, and you can control that with a MIDI keyboard. So for the sake of this video, I wanted to show you how I record samples and chop them up. I'm going to use some samples submitted to the SP forums battle number 223. So Flynn stuck up some samples that we can use, so I'm going to give a little demo using some of those. So first off, I'm going to record a drum loop. I've already set the levels, so I'll just show you how I do that. Go down to auto trim, hit the sampling, so it's now sampling. Press play on my player on my computer. That's all I want. A couple of bars. So now I've got that, I want to trim that. So there's different ways of trimming. You can go into quick edit and you can, for instance, trim the front of the sample off, trim the back of the sample off, do it that way. That's the way I've always done it up until recently. Now I've discovered that a quicker and slightly more accurate way of doing it is to stick the sample down on a track and then use the scrub function. Yeah, why is that so short? Just because the tempo map is so low. Right, so I'm going to roughly find the beginning and then scrub the front off. So I want to find where that first kick drum comes in. Actually there, I reckon. Delete that first section. Just listen to it. Yeah. And then that last section I want to cut off as well. So you don't have a wave editor like you would on a software audio workstation. You do it all with your ears, and that's the image. You know, that's pretty crap, isn't it? Really, you can't see what's going on there. You just got to listen. Cut that off, listen to that. It's a bit late actually, it's about a beat too late. It's there. So that should be it. So I'm going to move that to a sample pad so you can press mark on, copy that to clipboard, whack it on a pad, quick edit, loop, start end, see if it loops. Yeah. Looking pretty tidy. So now I want to chop that up. Just delete that. So the way I'm going to do that is to set the tempo map to the same as the loop. Yep, 92.41. Lay that down on a track. So I'm going to go about it in the same way, using the scrub function to find the various parts that I want to pull out. So that's the first kick, and I find the snare. That's it. There, I reckon. So I'm going to take that section, just drop it at the end there, mark on, clipboard, pad. That's cool. Now I want to find another kick that doesn't have that crash symbol on it. Okay. So now I want some hi-hat type sounds to fill in the gaps. There's an open hi-hat that I think I can pull out. That one. So again, scrub. And now we're going to have a go at rearranging the drums. So step record track, I'm going to use half beats mostly. So quarter beat. It's because you have to wait. You might be very disappointed. Yeah. A miss with that hi-hat. There. It's not too bad there. Let's just try looping that over and over, see what that sounds like. Anyway, you get the point of how you can reprogram the drums, chop them up and rearrange them. Let's have a go with something else. Yeah. Nice. sounds like that should be the main bulk of it, actually. So it's quite easy to sort of cut and paste and move things around on here. Cool. So now I've got 4 bars. The first 3 are the same, the 4th one's slightly different. So what I'll probably do now is copy those phrases to the pads. So again, mark on clipboard pad. So I've got that one there. And then the other variation, which is the 4th one, mark on clipboard pad. Just set those so that they loop. So I've got those 2 now. And then what I would then do, which I'm going to do, but I probably won't video it all because it's already turning out to be quite a long video, is go in and make some more variations in here. So chop bits out and move them around. So for example, if I take this section and stick it there, and then I think I want to do some kind of fill type flary thing at the end of this bar. So what shall I do? Just go for see what that sounds like. Right, that's cool. Then copy and paste that whole lot over again. See how that flows into the next bit. Yeah, I like that. And you can also do other little bits and bobs, like for example, I could copy that section onto here and then reverse it. Yep. And then stick it back in and there. See what that sounds like. So basically I build up beats like that. Take bits out, chop bits around, add little bits in, reverse bits. You know, the 808 is great for that because it's like you're working with these little bits of tape that you can kind of chop up, move around, stick back together. You know, and everything's really nicely positioned so you can move quite quickly and work around. Anyway, that'll probably do for now regards chopping up the beats and rearranging them. So what I'll do next is sample in some of the other samples that are up on that battle. So the next bit I'm going to sample in is this sample from the Penguin Cafe Orchestra. It's got a nice little violin piece in it that I want to use. So this is it as it is. So at the moment there's quite a bit of bass in that sample, which somewhere, and turn the low levels down. So, hit sampling, hit play. That's the bit I want. So I'll now trim that in the same way as I did with the other ones, using the track sequencer and the scrub function to find exactly where I want to chop it. So where is it there? So step record onto the track, the whole sample length. Just listen to it quickly to get a rough idea where I'm going. It's about there. Scrub. Shift enables you to move a tick at a time. It's difficult to find it. Maybe there. So delete that bit. Yeah. Anyway, that'll do. So let's find a spare blank. Stick that in there. So I want that first note, I want the second note as well, so I'm just going to duplicate that and then trim it. That's cool. And then duplicate that one so I can get to the next note, trim the front again. That's cool. And then trim it again. Okay, so I can do something with those now. So if we go back to the beat, have a go with playing with it. That's crap. So I just moved those 4 samples up to there because I noticed that when trying to play them on these pads, you have to really press hard on here, so I'm guessing that actually these buttons are a bit knackered now. so they get used more than any of the others. So up here, quite nicely triggered. Anyway, I'm going to have a go at recording those button presses. I'm going to use just an audio record. So I'll play the track. I'm going to start the record with a pad press, so as soon as I press it, it will start playing the drums on the sequencer and also recording. So here we go. Messed that up. That should be enough. Happy with that. So let's just loop that section over and over. See what that sounds like. That's cool. That'll do for that bit. So you get the idea again. You can obviously, I haven't talked about it much, but there's different ways of recording in. So you can do the step recorders, where you just step record onto the track, or you can do live recording, which is audio record. So you could just record in with a bass guitar or a mic or whatever, or play the pads. Or there's real-time recording, which is like a cross between the two, where you play stuff in live and it sort of sets it up as individual pieces, and with that function you can quantize, but I generally find that doesn't work very well on here, unfortunately. So I find the best way, if you want to record stuff in live, even pad presses, then it's best to use audio record. So now I'm going to add a bit of bass from the internal synth. So according to the rules of this particular beat battle, you can add external bass or drums. So I'm going to take some bass off the internal synth. So I've modified one of the presets, so you can go in and edit all the various bits and bobs, like the LFO, the different oscillators. It's got 2 oscillators, the filter, the amplification delay, whether it's got a chorus or flanger on it. So for this one, I've got a pulse wave and a triangle wave going on, and I've set up the knobs so that I can adjust the LFO tempo here, which is mostly affecting the second oscillator. So an example is quite like that. I can so I'm going to record that, just some various bits and bobs onto one of the tracks, onto this track. Let's see what that's alright. So I'm going to take another go at recording that bass track. Going to have a count of 2 measures this time, 2 bars, just to prepare myself. last take was alright. So I've pretty much finished it. I've just arranged all those components that I was demonstrating a minute ago. It's pretty simple. You know, it's a bit messy really, but it's just a bit of fun. So here we go. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It was fun. Sorry if the video is a bit long and rambly,